In this video, I will show you on how to firmware update your DuraFon ROM system. We start off by going to the Tools menu. Then, we are going to start with the base unit. We verify that there is a new firmware version by clicking the Server tab. This will automatically search the Ngenius database and allocate the newest firmware available. If you have multiple base units and want to firmware update all at once, simply click on the A button. It means it's for all bases. Once the firmware has been allocated, we proceed by clicking the Upgrade Now tab. It will take approximately 190 seconds to complete the firmware update for the base unit. Once the countdown has ended, it will proceed to apply the firmware to the base unit. Once it has completed, please refresh the page so you can see the update has been complete and updated. Once we have verified the base unit is up to date, we move on to the BSC controller. Same way, we click on the Server tab to get the latest firmware. Once the firmware has been loaded, we can proceed to click on the Upgrade Now tab. For the BSC controller, it will take up to 140 seconds. Once the firmware update has been completed, the page will auto-refresh and log you out to the main login page. Simply log in and go to the Tools tab. Now that the base unit and the BSC controller is updated, we can proceed to firmware update the handset. If you have multiple handsets, make sure you select all handsets, so the firmware is sent to all handsets. There are some options to do group handsets or individual handset. We recommend always doing firmware update on all handsets. Same way as before, click the Server tab to load the firmware and then click Upgrade Now to start the firmware process. The firmware will be sent from the base unit to the handset wirelessly. You will receive a notification on the handset that states, the firmware is downloading. Once the firmware has been completed, you will need to go to the handset and power cycle it for the changes to take effect. Simply press the End button. To press Yes, press the End button one more time. Press the End button one last time to power up the handset and it will go through its verification process and then apply the firmware. Once it's complete, it will power cycle by itself one last time. Finally, we can check in the Tools page that everything is up to date.